What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, well, I do have something for you. But first, I want to say rest in peace. I was very excited for Battles, thinking we'd get Spoon because why wouldn't they release the Magistus cards in the set where all the Magistus cards are coming in, but I guess the jump promos are just like that. So rest in peace Spoon, rest in peace Magistus Infernoble. It's just never going to come to be, I don't think. So this was a great deck idea for the time, but unfortunately we have to adapt and move on. And with Duelist coming out basically at the end of the week, adapt is what we've done. So I got to some comboing, I tested out multiple different engines, and I've come to something that's actually very, very strong that I'd like to present to you today. And that is going to be the Lunalight cards. So Lunalight is getting a new card called Gold Leo in Duelist, and this card is comboing an Infernoble very, very easy with the starter. What's nice about it too is it allows you to play a whole ton of extenders as well. So you're playing another engine that gives you a one-card starter, well, multiple one-card starters between Tenki, Goods, Gold Leo itself, Goods obviously dumping the Serenade Dance, and plenty of good extenders like Masquerade, because you can send Leo Martin, and it becomes a level 4 extender as well. And then when the engine gets rolling, Tiger and Emerald Bird are very good as well. Emerald Bird is more cuttable, but yeah, the whole reason you play this is because it's a rank 4 that makes Dempsey, and it also has other level 4s come out through the turn, so you search Oliver, and throughout the turn, if you ever get interrupted, you have a way to just summon out Oliver, and then bring back a level 4, and you have a very easy way into Angelica, which is very nice. You'll notice we have a lot less Infernobles than normal compared to most other builds, because you don't really need that many. When these provide all the bodies you need, and the Fiendsmith cards also provide all the bodies you need, this is basically all you need. You only need a Renod because it's very good. When you open it, you can just summon it and it turns into Requiem, Moon Requiem very easily. Oliver is the key linchpin in the combo because it's the whole reason you play Oliver is because you can make the Fiendsmith cards, and then the Fiendsmith cards obviously spawn in the Equip. And so the Equip is very, very easy to send to the graveyard to summon out to make Angelica. The whole point of the deck is making Angelica by any means necessary. Turpins are generally a decent extender. If you open any of your Infernoble cards, you can just send this to the graveyard with Dempsey, and you have a very easy level 4 to get to most of the time. And then Gearfried is an Emboard piece, and it's also a good follow-up, and it's also play into Fuelos and Droll. If you ever get hit by those cards, you have a good play into it with like Dempsey SP, which is very nice. 2 Engraver, 1 Lacrima, 1 Sanct. You don't want to play anything else other than that. You can play like 1 Engraver, 1 Lacrima, 1 Sanct, or you can just play like 3 Sanct, Lacrima, Engraver, depending on what you want. The whole point is just to make DDD, because it's the easiest way to beat Nib, as well as like if you are onto a 1-card Gold Leo combo, which you'll see, this provides like a ton of extra bodies for you, which is very nice, as well as Fiendsmith follow-up is pretty much unbeatable. And then 2 Museum, 1 Durandal, 1 Almace. You could play 1, but I like having 1 for extension because you don't use Durandal in the combo. And then you could just use Almace to retrieve something later. No Magus, so you're not getting a bunch of follow-up, but you get plenty of follow-up via like Martin Bounce and then Fiendsmith come back. You get enough. And then you play, I think it's, 16 on engine? Yeah, 16 with Black Coat Laugh, so Goods can turn into extra on engine if you need it as well, which is very nice for going second. Yeah, generally just very, very solid. Tons of 1-card combos, tons of extenders, good amount of non-engine, decent playthrough through Fua and Droll because of Baguska being very easy to access via the Lunalight cards, which is very nice. Getting into extra deck, we have Almirage. Generally, like when you normal 7 Gold Leo, you can just make this if you have to like search Tiger. If you're playing either Droll or something, which is very nice. IPSP, 2 really, really good cards here. Requiem, Moon, Necroquip, and DDD. Just general Fiendsmith cards are very good. Dempsey and Baguska. Dempsey is very important because not only can you trigger off Martin when you detach, or Emerald Bird when you detach, which is very nice, but you can also search Oliver. So many different plays. You're like searching Oliver and then sending this to get a tuner, or you're just searching Oliver and then linking this off into Moon, which is very nice. Baguska, your play into Fua, Droll, etc., as well as you can like end on this, which is very devastating. Your end board is really hard to break. Then we have double Charles, Roll, and then Angelica. It's just the same cards we always play. And then with Chaos Angel, this is like the 15th spot is very open. There's a lot of cards you can play on this slot. I'm just using Chaos Angel because, you know, you're playing Fiendsmith cards. Why not take advantage of the fact that you can make a Light Dark Chaos Angel and FTK your opponent? And the nice part about this engine is you have multiple different deck builds. So if you don't have Lacrima and Requiem, you don't want to like, generate all this stuff to playing these extra deck cards, there's actually a second version you can play without the Fiendsmith cards, which is playing like forgot to add them, but it's you play Dominus Impulse in this list, which is very nice. And you just have way more extra deck room. If you play Dominus, you don't play this, you play Typhon, but you just have more extra deck room. You make Reflation instead of Dempsey, Reflation instead of DDD, you still make Dempsey, obviously. Descend Gravediggers if you want to play against Nib. It's generally just very solid. This core is very good because it gives you 9 consistent 1-card combos. But for the deck I think is the most competitive, which is this one, being able to like have Engraver, have all that stuff is very, very nice. You're basically just slapping 3 engines together that have like weird mini synergies, and it turns out really well. So let's go ahead and get into the combos. I'm going to show you the Goldeo 1-card combo right here. So starting off, we got normal summon Goldeo, add Yellow Martin effect to add Masquerade. Then you're going to go activate Masquerade effect to dump the Tiger. Then you go Goldeo effect, add back the Tiger, then Tiger effect to summon back the Yellow Martin, make Dempsey effect to get the detach Yellow Martin, and then add Oliver. If you get stopped there, like if you get stopped on Dempsey effect, you still can combo through the Fiendsmith cards, which is very, very nice. And then again, this is also a 1-card combo, so you have plenty of extenders to get you still to this line. So you're going to go Yellow Martin, bounce back Tiger, so now you have a 4 and a 1, which is very nice. Requiem, do the Fiendsmith cards. Then you go Requiem effect, equip to Lacrima, send the Requiem effect to make Angelica, which is why this is so cool. Then you give Oliver target Angelica, dump Turpin, Museum, go for Almace, Durendal. We've all seen this 1,000 times if you've been playing Infernoble watching this channel. Tiger bring back a 4, so you can make it Charles, which is again very, very nice. You just have access to these levels. And then Engraver put back, you're gonna make IP. Turpin summon back. We go ahead and make Charles number 1, effect summon out, make Charles number 2, but before that you're going to pop Lunalight Tiger with Charles, which is very nice because this does trigger Lunalight Tiger effect. So you're going to summon back another 4, make your Charles, and then you're going to make Baguska. And then in phase equip Durendal, and then in this case I made this combo before I cut Magus, but if you want to play Magus you can, but you can also equip Gearfried here in the end phase. But you're able to not warrior lock yourself ever because you're using the Lunalight cards to generate a bunch of level 4 bodies, so you never have to use Museum second effect unless you're summoning up a Charles. Since you're summoning up Charles, you're never locked in the warriors, so you can make like IP and Baguska really late in your combo, which is very nice. Yeah, this board is really hard to beat. It's very, very spectacular, especially for a 1-card combo. If you have any other cards in your hand that extend, you just make DDD instead and still basically do the same thing, which is very nice. And yeah, this board's basically unbeatable. We're going to go ahead and move on to the Foolish Burial Goods 1-card combo. One thing to note with this is I sent Serenade Dance, but this is like as I was like discovering, and I didn't fully read Serenade Dance, so you do discard a card off this, but which doesn't really matter here. So you go Serenade Dance, summon out Leo effect, dump Martin add Masquerade dump Tiger, same thing, Leo effect add Tiger, then Tiger summon back the Martin, then here you're going to immediately make Moon Requiem. So in this line, I use one of the Molcharmies as a normal summon later, but in this case, you can just normal summon anything else to make the Moon, which is fine. You just want a 4 to be able to make Dempsey, so you don't have to use either one of these, so it all depends. So yeah, Moon, make Necroquip, Graver, summon it back, make DDD, and make 4 on the board. Then you go for Dempsey, add Oliver, send Dempsey, summon Oliver, then Tiger effect, summon back the Leo. And then boom, you're off to the races with Angelica. Angelica effect, add Durendal, Oliver target, dump Turpin, activate Durendal, Turpin effect summon back, Durendal effect search Renaud, and then bada bing bada boom, you already know how this goes. You're gonna go ahead and make you Charles pop, add back Durendal, you're gonna make IP here, and then you're gonna go for your double Charles. So 1 card, just Foolish Burial Goods, is a nib safe combo that ends you on DDD, double Charles IP, and then you're also ending on Durendal, summon back Renaud, add back Gearfried or Turpin for follow-up, which is really nice. You also have Yellow Martin bounce this back for follow-up, which is, again, very, very nice because you can go summon Emerald Bird effect to bring back another body, and you play like plenty of cards in the extra deck, and you have plenty of cards to return the extra deck, so you have a lot of gas in the tanks. So yeah, overall, I think this deck is very powerful. Once we move into like a new format, say post to ban list, I can see this deck being much better because like a lot less interruptions you have to fight through going second. But as like a competent combo deck going first, this deck can do can do wonders. And it's a very awesome deck that we have now that, you know, Spoon's gone. Now we have something to play that's very, very manageable. Yes, I know there's Fiendsmith cards. Yes, I know Lunalight cards, the secret just coming out, but you gotta adapt. And I'm trying to adapt as much as possible. But overall, I think this is a really, really cool deck. Give it a try, do some test hands, tell me what you think. And yeah, take care, guys.